can I just ask one question? Also knowing what's it all for? Is my kink just bettering myself for me because I think I'm such a piece of shit and I want to have a better inner monologue?
Mm.
Is it because I derive dopamine from pride in my behavior? Am I trying to prove someone wrong? I did realize like sometimes unhealthy motivations can provide really positive results, right? So when people talk about, a friend of mine texted me the other day about jealousy, and I was like, dude, I'm like, give me someone to be jealous of. Like that is gets me going so hard. We can call it healthy competition. Jealousy is, right? Envy and jealousy are a little more toxic. But I'm like, healthy competition is something that really drives me and I really appreciate it, when it comes along. When someone like that David Goggins thing, like, I mean, when people talk about negative comments, I'm like, thank you guys. It kind of drives me, because I'm like, I got to get that person that hates me. I got to get that person. Like, I got to prove them wrong, I'm kind of into that, and I think we're getting to a point where we're trying to solve every problem. To me, I'm like, well, there's certain I don't want to solve because I do use that for fuel and I do kind of need that for this. And if I solve all my problems, then I'm just going to make new ones, right? That's what I feel like I'm seeing. I see, like, especially when people who come after comedians, they're like, that's not funny and that joke's punching down. I'm like, it must be nice to have such an amazing life that you don't even need comic relief. Because comedy is for people whose lives suck and who need an escape from their own brain. They need comic relief. They need the laughter that's the best medicine. You don't need any of that. That's so sick for you. I would never want to be in that situation, right? Because I would rather have real problems than the fake ones that I see people with no problems making up just to create chaos.
There's certainly an element of one of the patterns that I realized I was encountering when doing a lot of personal development was it allows you to not face low self-esteem in the moment because you know that you're always improving. You think, hey, I don't need to love myself today because tomorrow I know that I'm going to be a little bit better because of all of the stuff that I did today. Totally. And the day after that, I know. So you're permanently kind of mañana anesthetizing yourself from having to ever really face your own low self-esteem. You don't, because I'm moving forward. I guess some people could use this in a good way, which is I don't like my body now, but I know that I've been to the gym and I've stuck to my diet for the last 2 months and that's going to be great. And I know that in future I'm going to love my body.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to things like self-esteem, it's much more chronic that you're trying to fix an internal problem by a series of external accomplishments.
Yeah.
And, how many rich or successful or famous people that fucking hate themselves do we need to see to... So look, it's evidently not going to be fixed by this thing on the outside. And it's one of the most unfortunate lessons, I think, because it's one that, for a couple of reasons, firstly, no one's going to give you any sympathy for dealing with it. It's a sort of champagne problem, right? It's like... being killed on the Titanic while everyone tells you how fortunate you are to be on the greatest steamship in history. Another like problem, I suppose, is that the world rewards you for continuing to improve and continuing to do these things. And you're always able to just push and hide things further down. I'm not ready yet, but it doesn't matter. I'm not ready yet, but it doesn't matter.
Something that I don't hear a lot, and I haven't heard every episode of every high performance podcast, obviously, but like something I don't hear a lot is about service. So the thing that clicked for me was, in order to build self-esteem, you have to engage in esteemable actions. And if I'm spending all day just trying to make myself better by reading these books and get more money and get better friends and get a better relationship, it's really just narcissist. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make myself the best person I can possibly be and the prettiest and the fittest and the whatever. And like, I had a neighbor, I would go for this run, and, we say in program, like, being of service to other people is, what's going to keep you sober, emotionally sober, literally sober, whatever. Just doing simple things for other people, expecting absolutely nothing in return. It is so simple, it is free, and it is such a game changer. And the guy down the street, he had this long driveway, and he was very old, and he would pull this trash can all the way. And then I started every morning on Thursday mornings going and just pulling his trash can down for him. And I couldn't believe how much I liked myself. I couldn't believe how simple it was. During the pandemic, I was like asking people if I could get them groceries. If they say no, fine. Little things like that. And, the other day I was on 6th Street and there was a very beautiful, hot mess of a girl just sobbing in the middle of the street. Something you see a lot of 6th Street. She was just crying on her phone. And to just go up and be like, are you okay? And of course, she was like, it's my birthday and I got kicked out of a club, whatever. But I was like, that was so selfish to just go up to someone else and get a little hit of you're not a narcissistic piece of shit. And I think we don't talk enough about service. It's a small thing.
You can do it in a positive way and you can do it in a sort of malignant way as well.
You can do it in a way that is to manipulate or to seem like a good person or to get
this is what's so fascinating about that codependence thing, which is it really all is about the motivation or the motive on the inside, which is difficult because you think, well, I'm doing a good thing. If I'm doing a good thing, if this is me doing something nice for somebody else.
But are you doing the right thing for the wrong reasons?
Yes. Yeah.
Because sometimes you do the wrong thing for the right reasons. If you need to fire someone, if you need to break up with someone, whatever it is, but you have to be your own, judge, jury, and executioner and be like, I'm not doing this for the right reasons. When I brought your present today, I'm like, why am I bringing this? What am I doing? I really wanted to give you this thing. And I just really have to watch that. And that's a little game I have to play with myself because sometimes I'll go into autopilot. Our really good friend, Christina Pazinski, is going through a health thing. And I've been on this website to send her flowers every day. And I'm like, nope, not sending her $500 flowers. I'm going to call her. What am I doing with these flowers? What, does she need flowers? She wants flowers. She'll have flowers in her house. It's you have to check yourself, and that's something that I think we spend so much time thinking about ourselves, but not in a objectively, I don't want to say critical, but holding ourselves accountable type of way. Am I going to send her flowers so that if she doesn't immediately send me a picture and say thank you, I'm going to be like, okay. Am I victimized? Am I trying to create a situation where I feel like I'm unappreciated and victimized? Am I just trying to ruin our friendship?
Or injecting yourself into the suffering of somebody else to show just how important and charitable you are?
That's it. I can also go, hey, let me know if you need someone to watch your kids for a couple hours. I can be of service. Do you know what I mean? Let me just drop something off at her house. Am I making it about me? Am I giving her a chore so that I seem like a good person? I know this sounds like I'm overthinking it, but these little tiny things are like the death by 1,000 cuts.
I have been using my 8 Sleep mattress for nearly 3 years now, and I can't imagine life without it. If you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night due to your temperature, this is the game changer. 8 Sleep just launched their newest generation, the Pod 4 Ultra, which can cool down each side of the bed to 20 degrees below room temperature, keeping you and your partner cool, even in a Texas heatwave. And for those of you who snore heavily, it can detect your snoring and automatically lift your head a few degrees to improve airflow and stop it. This is unbelievable. It cools, it heats, it elevates, and it is clinically proven to give you up to 1 hour more of quality sleep every night. And they ship to the US, Canada, UK, Europe, and Australia. Plus, you can get $350 off your Pod 4 Ultra by going to the link in the description below or heading to 8sleep.com/modernwisdom and using the code modernwisdom at checkout. That's EIGHT sleep.com/modernwisdom and modernwisdom at checkout. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, you will love the full-length podcast with Whitney in all its glory right here. Go on.